that which makes us who we are. See, we are kindred spirits, but we all have a different spirit, but we all spiritual. We're all spiritual. We're all spiritual beings. If you're alive and you're animated, you're a spiritual being. Now the key with that becomes, what type of spirit are you going to follow? Are you going to have a positive spirit? Are you going to have a moral spirit? Or are you going to have an evil and a wicked spirit? That's like when you were talking about the conversation with a cult. A cult is basically a group, in most cases, just a religion following principles. But it's been taken negative because you're looking at it from a negative perspective, because you can go with a negative spirit or you can go with a positive spirit. If someone is I hate to use the term, but if they're a murderer and they're robbing, they're rapists, that's not a good spirit. Right. They're spiritual, but that's not a spirit that you want to embrace. Right. So it becomes a broader conversation of, what spirit do you want to be a part of you?
Right. You know what? You said something that's powerful, because when we do think about spirituality, this was something I was going to get into a little later, but since you brought it up, because it is like, when we talk about spirituality, and we're looking at it right now from a moral point of view, we're looking at it from that point of view. And when we're looking at it from that point of view, we're trying to differentiate between spirituality and religion. And the reason for that is, a lot of people get caught up on religion and don't understand that their true nature is spiritual.
Yes.
And when you are spiritual by nature, anything that's spiritual, you should be connecting to, because that only promotes your growth, like even writing a book, The Spiritual Significance of a Name. And when I hear certain people, and I wrote, it's a spiritual book.
Yes.
And because people been indoctrinated with religion, automatically they look at it as a religious book. It's not a religious book, it's a spiritual book. And the difference is, it promotes you to a higher plane. And when you're trying to I say, Clam's Jacob ladder, reach the Most High, you want to be as spiritual as you can get. You want to be open to anything that can promote your spirituality on a positive note. That is, when we talk about when you talk about the negative side, and it came across me that there are two type of peoples.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
It's real, and you do have, we can say you got Satan and you got God,
Yes.
Yahweh, the Most High, or you can say, you got evil, you got good,
That's it.
bad, and wicked. Those are the two type of people that's in this world, and they're spiritual. That's what you said. That's a spiritual nature. See, you'll know a person by their spiritual nature, like how a person act. You say, okay, he has a bad spirit. Okay, well, he got a good spirit. He got a spirit of darkness. Oh, he got a spirit of light. That's how you kind of differentiate between the spirits when you're talking about that. And when you can see something that's promoting light, that's where you want to be connected to, that which is promoting light. Well, that's I wish we get to the point where we can open up a little bit, and have people chime in. That may not be something that we'll be open to today, because we're gonna get right into. We talked a little bit about spirituality, and I know you mentioned a little bit about religion, but and I open up a little bit with this here. When I think about religion, though, religion is like. I think you kind of spoke on this, Ambassador. It's like you know how you have goldfish, and you got the little bowl the goldfish go in, and then see now you got the fish that got the big old ocean. Religion is that bowl that the goldfish is in. It can only do so much, right? it's not open to anything, you know.
Right.
It really can't really feed itself like it wants to be able to grow. Where that big old ocean, although it probably can get ate up, but it's open to be able to receive, you know, and take um, control of, you know, the initiative to promote whatever it wants to, you know. We have to be open-minded to receiving the Most High. And a lot of times when we within a religion, it limits us to really seeking the Most High on every level that's possible. Because even you think about the Bible, you know, and most of, you know, the Bible is the most read book in the world, right?
Yes.
What it been sold, a whopping 3 billion copies been sold over the last, you know, 30 years, you know.
That's
probably the most powerful book on the planet.
On the planet. When you talk about religion, every religion has a foundation in the Bible. Did you know that every religion has a foundation in the Bible, starting with the Torah?
Yep.
You know, I don't care what religion it is, it's going to have some type of principles pertaining to that Bible. And when you think about that, most people think it's a religious book. I'm gonna open that up. I'm gonna open it up. What your brothers think about that?
You ready?
What your brothers think about that when it comes to religion and how most people think about that?
And that's a beautiful point, because most religions have their foundation in spirituality. What has happened over time is, because religions are normally based upon a man's perception of, we using the Bible in this case.
Mhm.
But if, you know, when four men look at that book, you get four different religions coming from that book, but they're coming from the same book. Now, the book has spiritual principles, but the point that you made, like, if you look at it from because most religions, as they are practiced today, especially organized religions, they have a particular set of tenets that they follow.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna use a good one, and this can be a hot point. In the Bible, it talks about the Sabbath. But you have many religions who read the Bible, and some practice the Sabbath on one day, some practice on another day, some practice it on a different day. So this religion is keeping the Sabbath on this day, this religion is keeping it on this day, and this religion is keeping it on this day. But all those three religions coming together to get the understanding of what was meant in that spiritual book, about, because the book is a book of principles and it's spiritual. But then with religion, that Sabbath is supposed to be about doing good. So a spiritual person, you're supposed to do good every day.
Yes, sir.
Not just one day, every day. So if you're doing good on Friday, I think that's wonderful. If you're doing good on Saturday, I think that's wonderful. If you're doing good on Sunday, I think that's wonderful. But the book really tells you to do good every day.
Yes, sir.
But if you get stuck in a fishbowl, like what you pointed out, and you only looking at it from one day, you missing the beauty. Because I'm gonna tell some stories some of y'all might remember. I can remember growing up, like most of us in religion, and every Sunday you had to go to church.
Right.
Some of you, I don't know about y'all, but if y'all, hey, you can do whatever you want to do Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
I tell you, my mom used to send us, even if she didn't go, she would send us with the neighbor next door.
Right,
Make sure you go.
That's how it was for me.
Oh, yeah.
You could, hey, I'm gonna keep it real. You could be out at that club on Saturday night, but Sunday morning, you need to be in church. But Sunday morning, you got to be in church. There were spiritual people using it as a religion. But you're supposed to do good every day. What grandma wanted you to do is go to that church so you could get some religion. She wanted you to get some principles.
That's it.
But you can get those principles outside of that building.
Right.
Like to do good and to be ethical or to be honest. You should be doing that on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Right.
But people, if you're not careful, religion will have you practicing the philosophies of men and missing the principles of the book.
Right. That's
Yeah, that's wow. That's a very valid and powerful point there, Mr. Minister. And and just briefly, it took me back to as a kid growing up in religion. There was times to where it got to the point where, like you were saying, how my mom and dad might not go, but I'm gonna go with the neighbor. I'm finna go with the cousin that just came from out of town or whatever, whatnot. And that bled over as I got older to, well, no matter what I did throughout the week, Sunday I need to go to church. Because it's just like you saying, they want me to get something from here to cleanse my mind, to bring forth a change within me. But the way it was given, because for the most part, when I go in there, as soon as I step in there, it can be a toss of good.
right.
But then all of a sudden, I walk through the door and it just turns bad. And now we back in that fishbowl. I'm hearing all the stuff that I can't do, and you doing this, and this is going to happen, and da da da. But it's a vast ocean out here. It's a vast ocean, and the ocean gets volatile.
Yeah.
But it brings forth life. It's conducive to life.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in religion, another key thing is that in that fishbowl, you're gonna reach a point where it just become redundant. You're going in that circle.
Right.
You're just falling into the rigmarole. I showed up. I showed up today. I showed up. Showed out. Oh, well, I had my suit on. I was wrapped up.
Looking good.
Yeah. Oh man, I got the car waxed. Oh man, I sat in the front.
Suit sharp.
But it's like you say, it's every day. So I'm missing the principles from the book, and I'm just receiving the perspective from somebody.
Yeah.
And that's for a lot of people. That's what creates a difference. Because as a spiritual being, going back to spirituality, I can receive certain principles from nature itself. This is why I love ancient culture. They can receive, knowledge from certain elements, certain animals. And some people may see that foreign as to being alien. Like with the Egyptians, for instance, they got these drawings of human beings with an animal head or something like that. But being spiritual, I understand that, okay, this animal head is representing a certain type of mentality.
It's a meaning behind it.
It's a meaning behind it. You know what I'm saying? So I have to do my diligent research to get that understanding. But in a religion, now they're going to say paganistic, devil worshippers, evil, that's wrong. You shouldn't be doing that, and so forth and so forth. But I also think that religion does, stagnates. It has some good, but it does stagnates.
Yeah, I agree. When it comes to religion, I think it's good for some people. Like I would a lot of times, when I see people like kind of just running wild and in the street, and I see a person clean their life up, and they would say, you got church, Islam, or whatever the case may be, and I often would say to myself, like, that's great that they changed their life around. But don't stay, like we're talking about religion, don't stay stagnant there. Because see, you've been called, and that's just a step. That's a step in the right direction. But we have to be open to be able to receive, like I was saying before, when you become spiritual, and that's the key thing, when you become truly spiritual, that's when you really grow in everything that you seek to do when it comes to reaching the Most High on that next level. Because if we stay stagnant within religion, it's gonna hold us back.
Right.
Because remember, there's some man or somebody. Remember what you said? What religion is man-made? It's some man that controls the religion, and he don't want you to go at too high than him.
Right.
He may call upon somebody else that may not be here anymore, or whatever the case may be. But there's still someone in that position that want to keep you at a certain point. And even if he allows you to raise yourself up to that certain degree, you still trapped within the religion itself. I think we just need to be a little bit more open when it comes to our spirituality and growing in our spirituality. I think it's important that we do that because that's when we can open ourselves up to different material. And I think Satan, and this is another thing, I think Satan has used religion to separate all good people.